The Alexandria Heist, the book that broke history. The conspiracy. What if I told you that the most important crime in human history wasn't a murder, but a theft? And the victim wasn't a person, but our collective future. We're talking about a heist so grand, it literally erased entire civilizations from the map. It made us forget who we are and what we could have been. The target? The Library of Alexandria. And I'm not here to give you a boring history lesson. I'm here to lay out the case. This is the story of how the ancient world's entire operating system was hacked, deleted, and scattered to the wind. And the wildest part? You're still living with the consequences. The vibe, when the world was connected. Let's crush the biggest myth right now. The Library of Alexandria wasn't some quiet, dusty hall. Think of it as the ancient combo of Google, MIT, and the Pentagon. This was the mainframe, the ultimate plug. For the first and maybe only time in history, the entire known world was mentally in the same room. Scholars from Greece, Egypt, Babylon, and India weren't just visiting. They were collaborating, arguing. They were measuring the circumference of the Earth with insane accuracy. They were pioneering anatomy, astronomy, and engineering. These people weren't just smart. They were playing a different game entirely. Their mission statement was absolutely beautifully Delulu. Collect every book in the world. Every single one. They had a wild, almost dangerous level of ambition. They'd literally stop ships in the harbor and demand their scrolls. They'd copy them, and sometimes they'd just keep the originals. The ultimate power move. They weren't just collecting knowledge, they were building a weapon against ignorance. And when you build a weapon that powerful, people start to get nervous.
The unraveling. Death by 1,000 cuts. So, what happened? Pop culture wants you to think it was one big, glorious blaze, a single moment of tragedy. That's cap. The truth is far more terrifying. The library didn't die in a fire. It was assassinated. Slowly, systematically. A death by 1,000 cuts. Caesar's panic. 48 BCE. Julius Caesar is in a brutal street fight, trapped in Alexandria. His move? He sets his own ships on fire as a tactical distraction. The flames spread to the city. Ancient historians like Seneca whisper that 40,000 scrolls were destroyed. But here's the question nobody asks. Which 40,000? Were they the backups? The originals? The scrolls on advanced engineering or forgotten sea routes? We don't know. The first chunk of human memory, gone in a political panic. The bureaucratic black hole. As the Roman Empire wobbled, the money dried up. Think about it. When a society crumbles, what's the first thing to go? The arts, the libraries, the luxuries. Maintaining scrolls takes cash, for scribes, for pest control, for climate control. That funding vanished. The scrolls began to rot. The bugs moved in. The genius curators, the keepers of the flame, either died or left. The brain drain had begun. The lights were turning off, one by one. The silent censorship. This is the spiciest, most infuriating part. When new powers rise, new emperors, new religions, they decide what history is. They become the ultimate gatekeepers. Books that challenged the new narrative didn't always burn dramatically. Sometimes they just disappeared. They were quietly removed from the shelves and walked into the private vaults of the elite. This wasn't destruction, it was hoarding. Knowledge became a trophy, not a tool for everyone. The scapegoat. Centuries later, the Arab conquest gets the blame. A famous, dramatic quote says the caliph ordered the scrolls burned to heat the city's bathhouses for 6 months. It's a great story. It's also highly dubious, recorded by writers centuries after the fact. It's the neat, clean, single-villain narrative we crave. But history is never that simple. By this point, the library was likely a ghost of itself. This was just the final, symbolic curtain call. The ghost in the machine, the breadcrumbs. So here's where the case gets unhinged. What if not everything was destroyed? What if the most dangerous, world-changing knowledge was purposefully saved and then hidden? Think about it from a ruler's perspective. You find a scroll detailing a forgotten trade route to a land of limitless gold. Do you burn it? Number. You hide it. You find medical texts with cures for plagues. You don't destroy them. You stockpile them for your own army. This isn't just power. This is the ultimate flex. So, where's the proof? We don't have a smoking gun. We have ghosts. We have breadcrumbs that our current history books can't explain. The Antikythera mechanism. A complex, gear-driven analog computer found in a shipwreck, dating back to the 2nd century BC. It could predict astronomical positions and eclipses. This level of technology shouldn't have existed for another 1,000 years. Was it a one-off? Or was this the kind of knowledge that was commonplace in Alexandria? Roman coins in the Americas, found on multiple occasions. Our official timeline says Columbus was first. So how did a coin from the 2nd century AD end up in Kentucky? A fluke? Or proof of a transoceanic trade route documented in a lost Alexandrian atlas? Parallel pottery. Styles and techniques in ancient South American pottery that mirror designs from West Africa almost exactly. A crazy coincidence? Or evidence of a cultural exchange that our complete history has completely missed? Alone, each of these is an anomaly, a glitch in the matrix. But together, they form a pattern that suggests our map of the past is mid. It's incomplete. We're trying to put together a puzzle, but the most important pieces, the ones held in Alexandria, are missing. Maybe on purpose. The reset. Why it matters today. The loss of Alexandria wasn't just a tragedy for book lovers. It was a global reset. It set human progress back by over 1,000 years. We spent the Dark Ages stumbling around, rediscovering things they already knew.
Imagine if we had never lost that momentum. Where would we be today? Would we have cured cancer? Would we have become an interplanetary species? The loss of that library narrowed our future. It closed doors we didn't even know were there. But it's not all doom and gloom. The hunt is back on. Modern tech is our new flashlight. We're using multispectral imaging to read scrolls carbonized by volcanic ash. We're using AI to cross-reference fragments and find connections no human could see. We're DNA testing the animal skins parchment was made from to trace their origins. The lost books of Alexandria are the ultimate cold case, and we are the detectives. So I'm ending this not with an answer, but with a mission for you. The next time you look at a star chart or a world map, or read about a new archaeological discovery, I want you to get a little delulu. Ask the wild questions. Question the official story. Because history isn't a set of facts. It's a story. And stories can be edited, redacted, and stolen. So I'm turning the case over to you. What's the one piece of lost knowledge you think would change everything if we found it tomorrow?
A map? A cure? A blueprint for a forgotten machine? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's see how many timelines we can break wide open. Let's become the detectives who finally solve the Alexandria heist.